At some point, I promise, I'm going to find a better way to mount this for these videos. Okay, we are going to do the Budget by Paycheck by the Budget Mom budget binder flip through. Say budget that many times that fast. All right, so we just started doing this in January. We still use YNAB, but we wanted to do this so that we would bring more awareness and attention to our budget. So we started off with all our subscriptions and what it cost us monthly and yearly, and then we canceled a bunch of them. So we canceled our Instacart. YNAB is now the business. Our business pays for that. Kobo, Netflix, Audible, and Spotify. All of those have been taken care of. Savings goal trackers. I'm not going to fill any of these in because it's all in YNAB, and most of them we don't have anything saved for right now anyways. So we'll leave it as is. And then you'll see I've started plugging in all my numbers for the month. So we'll go over this at the end of January here because they're all the same numbers anyways. And for reference, this is what the categories are in this binder. So the total numbers in each category might look a little different from what they do in YNAB just because this is not as granular. But we have our bills, so rent, utilities, phones, insurance, yada, yada, yada. Subscriptions, pretty self-explanatory. Food, which would be, you know, groceries, toilet paper, paper towel, anything like that. Gas, again, self-explanatory. Eating out, so fast food, coffee, dining out. Spending, which would be my spending, Cody's spending, date nights, entertainment, miscellaneous spending, that all goes in here. Vehicle, so maintenance, oil changes, car washes, detailing, anything like that would go under vehicle. China, which is our cat, that would be food, litter, toys, vet costs, etc. Health would be medications, health supplies, gym membership, glasses, massage, chiro, so on and so forth. Miscellaneous would be anything that's like an unexpected, unplanned one-off charge, separate from like miscellaneous spending. This would just be, yeah, something really unusual. Travel, so vacations, business trips, holidays. Kids, which would be Freya and Gunner's spending money, their daycare costs, clothing, so on and so forth. And then savings, so like the 100 envelope challenge, savings challenges, investments, so on and so forth. So that's kind of how we get them broken down and highlighted in here. And then we get into January. So here is a recap of what our month looked like. We've got check marks next to everything that was paid. We have things crossed out if it was a subscription that we canceled. We have important events in here that we had to plan for, and then all of our bills and our paydays. We have our paycheck budgets, which I believe we shared at least one of them. But this is what I want to get into. So this is the transactions. So this is for our checking account, and we highlight everything based on what the cost was. So if it was groceries, spending, this one you can see we had a lot of spending on the first page here because there's a lot of yellow. Going on to the second page, a lot of spending and bills was mostly what we had in here. And again, lots of spending. So right away I can see that we're still spending on the card. And I'd like that to be in cash so that we spend less because we spend less on cash. Credit card transactions, this was a little bit of Freya and Gunner's stuff, and then subscriptions and bills is mostly what goes on here. And then my credit card, if I can get this page to flip. Sorry, this is kind of not the best setup for this. So my credit card is mostly subscriptions, which is what it's supposed to be for, and then a bit of spending. And then cash. So cash is primarily groceries and spending because those are pretty much the only things that we use cash for. We did use a bit for dining out, and I'd like to use more for dining out going forward. And this is something I'm really proud of because you'll see we didn't spend a lot in dining out. There's not a lot of this pink color throughout. Then we have our debt repayments, so what we owe on our like cell phone plans for watches and phones and stuff like that. The actual debt that we're tracking is in red here. That's part of our debt payoff plan. So we tracked that in here, and then our net worth tracker, which these numbers of course have gone up since I put them in here because this was done on January 7th, but we'll look at that at the end. So this is our monthly recap. So bills, We were $41 over budget. We spent $5,061 on bills, and that was 70% of our income. So that was our starting balance plus our earned income plus other miscellaneous income. We didn't use any savings this month. That's our total inflow. Subscriptions was $112, so we were $53 over. And what's interesting is I think in YNAB it only shows $65, so I'm not sure what's different here. And that was 2% of our budget. Groceries was $684, so we're under budget by $116. We set a budget of $800, and that was 9% of our income. Dining out, we spent $143. We were $23 over budget, and that was 2% of our income. Spending was $752. We were over budget by $252, and that was 10% of our spending. So it was, again, my spending, Cody's spending, miscellaneous spending, Freya's birthday spending. Health and fitness was $225. We were under budget by $25. That was 3% of our income. Gas was $235. We came under budget by $5, and that was also 3% of our income. Vehicle was $22. We were $8 under budget, basically nothing, 0.3%. Savings, we did really good here. $245. That's $180 more than what we were expecting to save, and that was 3% of our spending, or our income, sorry. Miscellaneous was $88, $48 over budget. That was 1%. We had nothing for travel. Freya and Gunnar came in at $602. We were over budget by $17. No, $607 over budget by 17. That was 8%. And China was $93. We went over budget by $13. That was 1% of our income. Now, our meal plan, I feel like we did really, really good here. Everything in green is we planned for it and we actually cooked it. There was a couple days where we switched the plan. There were dine out days where we went to the airport, or we dined out on the way to the airport. And then this day I straight up didn't make it because I still have leftover shepherd's pie. Cody eats a lot more than I do, so I tend to cook a lot more when he's home because leftovers when he's gone lasts me a lot longer. So we did really good. We spent $684. Our budget was $800. I think we did awesome for our meal planning, and I'm super excited about that. And then flipping over here, I had some notes here not to include savings and sinking funds in the cash balance and only in the envelopes, because I was keeping our vehicle maintenance and our what do you call it? Our shit happens cash on hand fund in my cash tracker in here, and it just didn't make sense because we don't spend from it regularly. It would be counted as a savings inflow if we ever needed it. So I made a note to take it out. And then this is our for next month. So we've got a few things going on. We have some annual renewals coming up. So our Google One, our Amazon, I think Google Play should be in here as well. Costco, got to file our taxes. Yeah, so just some things going on. Got that listed out in here. And then I've started on a rough budget. Again, YNAB is our primary method of budgeting, but I do it on paper too, just to kind of get ahead of the game if I can. And then we have our transaction trackers set up as well. So we'll have $605 in our checkings account going in to next month. And if I flip to the back here, we have our meal plan and then our estimated budget for bills. So here's our meal plan. Again, lots of cooking on the week that Cody is home and less on the weeks that he's gone. And again, the budget's going to be $800, but if I can keep it at $600 again, that would be amazing. I doubt I'll come in that cheap 2 months in a row, but yeah, we'll see. So that is the flip through of the Budget Moms workbook. I do enjoy using this because it forces me to be more mindful of my spending versus just tapping a card and then not reflecting on it until, the end of the week in YNAB. So that's it for this monthly wrap up. That was 2 of them. So if you saw the YNAB one and you came to watch this one, hi. If you're here watching this one and you haven't seen the YNAB review, you can go ahead and click over there. It's up on the channel. And thanks again, as always, for watching, for hanging out, for being a part of our journey. I hope you're having a fantastic week. I don't think you can see. Yeah, China's in the background there, talking to her toy. She's a very loud cat. Aren't you? Yeah. Are you a loud cat? Meow. 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 All right. See you guys.